we are here with Grandma on her 100th birthday.
Yeah.
Celebrating. It's a big day. The first question, obviously the most important thing we'd like to know is how does it feel to be 100? 100 years old.
How did I get to be that old?
Yeah, how did you get to be 100 years old?
Well, I go to bed early and I get up early. And that's good. They always say that's healthy.
That's healthy, they do. They always say that's healthy. And you've always gone to the St. Michael's Church here in Albion, haven't you, Grandma?
Well, I went to Primrose for a while. We got married at Primrose, and that's where we went. Well, I guess Dan was even baptized at Primrose Church.
Oh, so you were there for a while before you moved to Albion.
Yeah, before we come to Albion. Yeah. See, Bill was born at Albion, but we lived up here 4 months when he was born.
Oh, okay.
So
that was a big move to go from Primrose to Albion, wasn't it?
It was, but we done it.
So what made you, I guess I never knew, why did you decide to move from Primrose to Albion?
Because we didn't have any place to live. We had to get a house to live in.
You got kicked out of your house there in Primrose?
Well, we moved off of the place where we lived into where my dad lived, my dad and Mom. They moved to Albion.
Oh, sure.
And, we were supposed to get that house for a while. And then the people, do you know Herbie Wise?
I don't think I do.
Herbie and Pat Wise?
I don't think I do.
Well, see, they got married, and their dad had them 2 farms,
Mm-hmm.
Well, then the old folks didn't have any place to go, so we had to move out so they could move into the house.
Oh, I see. I see.
Yeah.
I was telling Sarah last weekend when we were all together talking about how you got your mom did not know you got your ears pierced because she would have been so mad at you. Didn't you say your mother passed away before you could go get your ears pierced?
I had my ears pierced a long time, and she never knew a difference. She thought I just had earrings on.
Oh, yeah? She thought you had the clip-ons on?
Yeah. So but I didn't tell her any different.
So let's see, what would be, tell me what the most memorable thing was for you, Grandma, at getting through the depressions and the wars and everything that you guys went through. What got you together? What kept the family together through tough times like that?
Well, I can't answer that, I don't think.
You just really leaned on each other?
Yeah, right, I guess.
Yeah, and that you did. That you did.
Harold was good to me, and
we
we had a good life, until he had his accident.
Mm-hmm. Tell me about Grandpa Harold. What was the favorite thing, his favorite food that you made for him? Was he a good eater?
I can tell you that. I knew it. He ate about anything.
Would he eat fish and chicken? Because Dad doesn't like fish and chicken. Would he eat that?
He liked chicken.
He ate chicken. You guys probably had your own chickens.
He liked chicken because the last year, my dad was sick, and I didn't think I could handle dressing a bunch of chickens. And he says, "Oh, we got to have chicken." He says, "I'll help," he says. And
so he helped dress them, huh?
Yeah, he helped. And then, in September, then he had his accident.
Mm-hmm. How about the boys? Were the boys good at helping out around the farm?
I can't tell you that neither.
Grandpa's here. She can't say.
I don't want to say it here.
Ask her later.
We'll wait till we turn off the video and see.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, you just kind of, after Grandpa's accident, you just kept on with the farm, didn't you?
Yeah.
You did not sell off the farm or anything?
Dan
you just
and Bill
kept
and I.
So you helped with the planting of the corn and raising the cattle, and you worked on the farm just like the boys did, didn't you?
Yeah, I worked sometime. When we picked corn, I'd go in and get the loads and bring them up.
Yeah.
And then the boys would unload them at night,
Mm-hmm.
But I'd always go out and get the loads. Dan and I was alone, Bill was still in school.
Mm-hmm.
But he'd help it when he was after school, and on Saturdays he was there till he had to go to the service right after he got out of school, he was drafted.
He was drafted.
He
back
was
to the
drafted.
service. Hmm.
Uh-huh.
I remember one time you telling me a story about after Grandpa's accident, you had gone into the bank and wanting to get a loan to get more land, and the banker looked at you like, well, are you crazy? Because back then they didn't give loans to females, especially a widow with boys.
That's what they told me.
Did you end up getting the loan and buying more
No,
land?
I didn't get no loan, so I didn't get the land.
You kept right on farming though, didn't you?
Yeah, well, see, it wasn't my place. It was one up here in town Mom had.
Oh, and you farmed that.
We farmed it, yeah, and Mom wanted to sell it. She was just bound to sell it, and I went to the bank, the Federal Land Bank. You know, they made loans them years, you know. And he says he wouldn't advise a woman with 2 kids to get a loan. So I walked out.
You know what? I am very proud of you for even doing that, because a lot of women at that point would not even.
Yeah, well, I thought we
Consider
could make
it.
it. Dan wanted that land so bad, you know. We always raised good crops on it, you know.
Sure.
And of course, a third of it would have went to me anyhow, you know, because it belonged to Mom yet, you know. And, but that's what he told me, so I walked out.
Well, there you go. Well, you still grow great crops in your garden.
Yeah.
Your garden has gotten to be like something that everybody looks forward to every year, because you grow so many good tomatoes and onions and potatoes. We all
we
share
did this
in it.
last year, though.
What was the problem last year?
Dan and Bobby was both of them.
Did they not fall through for you, or what? What did they do?
They didn't do it.
They didn't do anything. Well, we're gonna have to change that next summer. We're gonna have to change that next summer.
They did plant the onions. You planted the potatoes, and cause
Yeah, but you had tomatoes though too.
yeah,
didn't you?
we had tomatoes. Bobby planted them, you know, and they wasn't as good as they were other years. So I didn't have as many as I had other years.
This is kind of a rough year.
The weeds kind of took place.
You need to hire yourself a weeder.
Yeah, that's right. No, we had enough to eat though off of it. You had few cucumbers, not too many. I don't know why this year. They just didn't do like they did other years. And we had tomatoes, all that we needed. And we had potatoes, all we needed too. And of course the lettuce and spinach, we had all that we needed.
Do you have problems with rabbits getting into your garden?
They never bother my garden.
Huh.
I
That's
don't know.
amazing, because everybody always says that's their biggest problem.
No, I never have any trouble, do we? We never have trouble with rabbits.
I was telling Sarah about your house starting on fire last week,
Oh,
your
yeah.
basement, and how you just refused to. You just thought maybe you'd sit and keep watching TV while the guys were coming up to take care of the fire for you.
Yeah.
No worries there, was there?
You know, Joe Pitts called today, and he said his furnace done the same thing that same day mine did.
Huh.
You know, that's a coincidence.
That is very coincidental.
Uh-huh.
I know.
He said, you know, when I got up in the morning, there was air coming out, but it was either just mild, you know, it wasn't hot or it wasn't cold air. It was just a fan going, and there was air coming up. And, you know, we called him to come, and he was busy. He came about 1 o'clock, and he was just down there about a minute, and he come running up, and he dashed through the living room and outside. He didn't say anything, you know.
So then he'd come back in and say, Agnes, we need to get out of the house, or what?
No, he didn't. He did. He was.
Did you wonder?
He was excited and shaking, you know, because he was worried, you know.
Did you wonder? Did you think, whoa, I wonder why he's running out of my
No,
house
I didn't
for?
say anything.
You just
to
said
him.
watch TV.
No, I didn't say anything.